Shoals Jaguars and the Habersham Central Raiders. This is Ken Brady, and along my side tonight, longtime TV 32 sports analyst Mac Foss. Tonight, Cedar Shoals Jaguars come into Raider Stadium with a record of 5-1, and they have a sub-region mark of 3-0. They're perfect. Their only loss coming earlier in the year down at Valdosta against the Valdosta Wildcats. They lost by only 3 points. Habersham Central, they have an overall record of 4-2. They are 2-1 in Region 8 Quad A North. So this is a battle between number 1 in the sub-region, Cedar Shoals, against number 2 in the sub-region, Habersham Central. And Coach Mac Foss, last week we witnessed an upset of a top-ranked team when Stevens County upset Hart County. Could we see another upset tonight here at Raider Stadium as the Habersham Central Raiders battle another top 10 team, this being the Cedar Shoals Jaguars?
Well, certainly it's a very, very strong possibility, Ken. Coach Jeff Herron, talking with him before the game as we had a chance to visit, very, very congenial young man. You know, he's very, very much in respect, you know, of this Habersham Central team, realizing that they play good, hard-nosed defense. You know, they're very, very aggressive. They have really improved each and every ball game. Looked like they possibly should have won the Parkview game. Went down last week and got a victory on the road against Duluth. He's very, very much in respect of them. He primarily has a senior-laden team. As you mentioned, their only loss coming at the hands of Valdosta. And honestly, from all what the paper said and having heard people talk, and even Nick Hyder, the Valdosta coach, said that they were very, very fortunate to be able to win that ball game. So he comes in here with a lot of respect for the Habersham Central Raiders. The Raiders usually play well, and the Raiders are in a key ball game for both of these ball clubs. This would definitely keep the Raiders in the hunt, and they're thinking upset. And I think you've got to think of it that way because Cedar Shoals, 12 seniors on their team, just a few juniors and sophomores. So certainly they're going to have a strong task ahead of them to play the number 7 ranked Cedar Shoals Jaguars. But the Raiders are equal to that task. So we're in for another fine ball game, I think, Ken, on TV 32, and we're excited to be here.
Stay with us. We'll check tonight's starting lineups. This is high school football on TV 32. In Mount Airy, Georgia, Raider Stadium getting set for tonight's game between the Habersham Central Raiders and the Cedar Shoals Jaguars. Let's check tonight's starting lineups. First off on offense for the visiting Cedar Shoals Jaguars. At split end, number 21, Antonio Harper, a junior. At one tackle, number 69, Jim Chastain, a senior. One guard, number 57, Lico Lumpkin, a senior. The center, number 65, David Barrow, a senior. The other guard, number 72, Preston Moses, a junior. The other tackle, number 74, Anthony Scott, a sophomore. The tight end, number 86, Tommy Dorsey, a senior. The quarterback, he's a senior, number 10, Ben Eberhardt. The leading ground gainer for Coach Jeff Herron's Cedar Shoals Jaguars, the fullback, number 22, Kiki Wright, a senior. One halfback is number 16, Chuck Turner, a young sophomore. And the other halfback, number 7, Russell Christopher, he's a junior. There's the starting offensive lineup for Cedar Shoals.
Leading the Cedar Shoals Jaguar defense, number 56, Tom Ames, a senior at defensive end. Lico Lumpkin playing both ways tonight, number 57, a senior. Playing defensive tackle, Matt Duffel, number 75, a senior. At defensive end, Bernard Young, number 78, another senior. At the linebacking core, number 55, a senior, Tony Jewell. At Tyrone Lester, number 27, a junior. Greg Jackson, number 34, a senior. And the defensive secondary, number 3, Tony Bing, a junior. Dante Hodge, number 28, at cornerback, a sophomore. Number 15, free safety, Mike Christopher, a junior. And number 6 in the other safety defensive secondary position, Derek Huff, a junior. Starting 4 juniors, 6 seniors, and 1 sophomore on that defensive unit, Ken.
Let's check the Habersham Central starting lineup now. And first off on offense, the tight end is number 81, Jonathan Gasly. He's a senior. At one tackle, it's number 64, Carsey Bogue, a junior. At guard, number 53, Keith Crane, a senior. The center, big Matthew Smith. He's number 67. He's a senior. At the other guard, number 51, Shane Hill, a senior. The other tackle, number 55, Matt Nicholson, a senior. The starting split end tonight is number 8, Jed Lacey, a senior. The quarterback, number 10, Heath Webb, a senior. The starting fullback, number 42, Adam Barron, a senior. One halfback is number 28, Kyle Garrett, a senior. And the other halfback, the leading ground gainer for Coach Black's Raiders, is number 22, Chris Payne. He is a senior.
Okay, for the Habersham Central Raiders at defensive end, number 87, Daniel Smith, a senior. Defensive tackle, Jake Williams, number 71, a senior. In the middle of that line, at nose guard, Casey Allen, number 72, a senior. At defensive tackle, Bill Simmons, a senior, number 70. At defensive end, number 30, a senior, Jay Harvard. At the linebacking core, number 54, a junior, Bradley Held. At the other linebacking core, Rod Tremere, number 45, a senior. In the secondary, number 4, Nate Pulliam, a senior. Scott Favors, number 7, a senior. Dwayne Tedder, number 11, senior. And number 5, a junior, Josh Sellers, starting back there in the defensive secondary. On defense for the Raiders, Ken, primarily a senior-laden team, 9 seniors and 2 juniors.
Well, Coach Larry Black's Habersham Central Raiders basically in pretty good shape. Health-wise, they haven't had any serious injuries so far.
Well, they are in good shape, and we were talking to Coach Herron, and he said they are in reasonably good shape, for this point in the season. He said that he did have one player be playing both ways tonight. That's Lico Lumpkin, but at this time of the year, you're going to have bumps and bruises, and the ball game being a contact game as it is and as physical as it is, you can expect it not to be fully 100% Ken, but nevertheless, reasonably healthy, for both of these football teams.
Cedar Shoals last week, they defeated Parkview by the score of 14-10. Habersham Central as well coming off of a victory as they defeated Duluth 16-10. And in last week's game, Jerry Chapman had a stellar performance. He, in fact, set a school record 47-yard field goal in that game last week.
He is an outstanding kicker.
The Raiders also blessed with a good punter. And Josh Sellers, he as well hit a school record punt last week. Looks like the Raiders of Habersham Central will be kicking off to the Jaguars of Cedar Shoals. And, Mac, we've had some rain this afternoon. There's some wetness on the field.
Went down on the field prior to coming up to our telecast booth here, a top-rated stadium, and the field is in good shape, Ken. I don't think they had quite as much rain as we did down the mountain way, and the field is in reasonably good shape out there. Some moisture, yes, but I don't think that's going to be a big factor in the game tonight at all.
Number 9 is Jerry Chapman. He kicked field goals last week of 47, 27, and 39 yards. So he's responsible for 9 of the 16 points Habersham scored against Duluth. And Coach Larry Black was talking. They've had just as much success on the road this year as they have at home.
Well, he did mention that, and but these Habersham Raiders, they know how important this ball game is to them tonight. It's a key ball game, and we didn't plan it this way, but isn't it outstanding that we are able to pick what was going to be the number 1 and 2 team and have them on TV 32.
And we are underway. The kick by Chapman will bounce across the 10-yard line. They're trying to get a handle on it over there. And Cedar Shoals manned up to the 15-yard line. And he is tackled right there. That was run back by Tony Bing. And so the Jaguars will have it first down and 10 from their 16-yard line.
Excellent job by Jonathan Gasly, number 81, going down on the specialty team. Going down and making good coverage, making them start deep down there. Cedar Shoals, Ken, will be operating from the Wigan T offense, give a lot of misdirection. Habersham will be in their patented 5-man front, old-fashioned defense up front, and be trying to cope with, with that wing T formation.
The quarterback for the Jaguars, Ben Eberhardt, a senior. And on the first play, he'll give it to Big Kiki Wright, coming up off over the tackle and all the way up to the 30-yard line. Big Kiki has a first down for the Jaguars.
Well, Big Kiki just hits that hole real quick, Ken. He's a 3-year starter at that fullback position, and this young man is, destined to play in Division I football because he's a tremendous football player.
The leading ground gainer for Coach Jeff Herron and the Jaguars Eberhardt, when we covered Cedar Shoals and Habersham last year, he was injured. In fact, I think the third game of the season. But Ben, a senior, is back in there at quarterback this year and having a fine season for Cedar Shoals. And this time, Ben will roll out. Now he'll tuck it under his arm and big play.
Russ, that time he was getting outside. Scott Favors from a defensive back position stopped him for a loss, as a matter of fact. Big play by Scott Favors to move up. Came out on the sprint option type play, and Scott Favors moved up from the defensive secondary and did a good job. And that's what I want to do, is not give them good yardage on first down, Ken, because it makes the call so much easier, on second down.
So the Jaguars will lose 5 yards on that play, second down and 15 from the 25-yard line. And this time they'll give it off to Mike Christopher, and Christopher will be chopped down after a 1-yard gain.
I believe that was Chuck Turner that was running the football then, Ken, number 16 from the wingback position, and he was hit inside there by Habersham Central, doing a good job. Looked like the linebacker Rod Tremere, and making the tackle in there.
So they only gained 1 yard on that play. Third down and 14 for the Jaguars. Just underway here at Raider Stadium in Mount Airy, Georgia. Big David Barrow, the center, the leader on the offensive line. And the pass is complete to Antonio Harper out on the outside. Good defensive play by the Raiders.
Excellent coverage over there by the Raiders. Daniel Smith from his defensive end position.
And so that will bring up a fourth down situation, I believe, for Cedar Shoals. Tried to get it outside to the receiver.
Just ran a little pop pass out there then, but they're going to have a face mask penalty. Tough break for the Raiders.
Well, that's going to hurt. That's going to really hurt. Move the ball up to the 48-yard line and a first down. So Habersham Central making a mistake after they had him pinned up back there. So the Jaguars first down and 10 at the 48-yard line. First down and 10 for Cedar Shoals. Tommy Dorsey, the tight end, shifting, and they'll give it off to number 3. That's number 7, Russell Christopher. Christopher up across the 45 down to the 42-yard line.
Tackle made by number 11,
Dwayne Tedder, then number 11, might have saved that, from being a touchdown. He tried to cut back in, and he was able to get a hand on him then. Tremendous quickness by Christopher then. They hit the line so quick, Ken, and then they've got such good acceleration once they hit that line. So Habersham Raiders, they had them backed up, did a great job defensively, then had the penalty, unfortunately, so it gave the Cedar Shoals Jaguars some new life.
And it is a first down for the Jaguars at the 42-yard line. Cedar Shoals in their opening possession started this at the 16-yard line into Habersham territory at the 42 now. Ben Eberhardt, the quarterback. And this time they'll fake it to Kiki Wright. Eberhardt will keep it. He's got running room up across the 35 down near the 34-yard line. He'll gain about 8 yards on that play.
Dwayne Tedder once again from the, and also Scott Favors coming in there helping with the tackle then. Cedar Shoals on this offensive thrust, Ken, doing a good job.
It's such a deceiving type offense. Misdirection.
Well, they make you move all over the field. They switch the tight end. The wing back becomes a halfback. The halfback becomes a slot back. And you really have to be on your P's and Q's to keep up with it.
And that time it's given to Russell Christopher. And Christopher should have the first down If not, he'll be very close at the 32-yard line.
Number 71, Big Jake Williams, came across the line to slow that play up just a little bit to be able to give the linebackers time enough to get in position to make the tackle. Jake did a good job then. Looks like it still may be possibly first down or it's going to be barely a first down, Ken, or going to be a first down.
There's the shot from sideline cameraman Barry Fitzpatrick. Yep, it's a first down. First down and 10 for the Jaguars at the Raider 32-yard line.
The Jaguars, Ken, via the penalty, now have 5 first downs, on this drive. Well, you're talking about the formation, Ken, as our telecast audience can see, and this is going to be interesting for a lot of people to watch this telecast, because Cedar Shoals is going to be in 8 AAA next year, so a lot of people will get to see a lot more of Cedar Shoals.
Kiki Wright with a...
Oh, bingo!
What a play!
Hey!
Kiki Wright met the defensive line, didn't he?
I've been looking for that one. Yes, sirree. Bill Simmons coming up, doing a good job. Bradley Hale stepped up in there, and Bradley didn't held him. I guarantee Bradley bumped him.
Second down and 10 for the Jaguars now. Still at the 32-yard line. Eberhardt, the quarterback, will throw this time. Once again, it's complete to Antonio Harper, and Harper will be near a first down. Now at the 23-yard line, I believe they'll mark it.
But Cedar Shoals, Ken, has got they've got good skilled people out there. Eberhardt, fine senior leader, got good power with Kiki Wright. They've got quickness and speed with Chuck Turner and Christopher. Just a lot of weapons on offense. So third down right here on this third down conversion.
Keep in mind, this drive started at the Jaguars' 16-yard line. They've driven down to the Raider 23, their opening possession of the ball game. This time, Chuck Turner has the ball, looking for an opening, and he'll have the first down near the 20-yard line.
Chuck Turner running the ball then. He was brought down. 45, Rod Tremere from his linebacker position, bringing Chuck Turner down. Chuck Turner, just a sophomore, son of Charles Turner, who is the ultra-successful athletic director and head girls basketball coach at Cedar Shoals High School. And Ken, just going to show you how old I am. I coached his daddy in high school. Now, I didn't get any older, but his daddy did.
Okay. So first down for the Jaguars, and right at the middle he goes. That is Kiki Wright with a good gain on that first down play across the 20 to the, let's see, the market at the 12-yard line.
I was talking to Coach Sammy Cunningham, longtime friend, and coached up here for 80-something thousand years, I think, and ultra successful coach. And he was talking about having watched, Kiki Wright and as he came up, and he'd been starting, 3 years on the varsity. Said he has such good, strong legs, and he hits the hole so quickly. And right there on TV then, you could see how well he accelerated once he got through the hole. Great football player.
Second down for the Jaguars, right at the middle. Pretty close to a first down.
Whole host of Habersham Central Raiders. They've really tightened it up right there in the middle after the successful runs, by Kiki several times when he's had the ball. Couldn't hardly really tell that so many of them were on that play. Casey Allen and Bill Simmons initially, sticking it up in there.
So it will be a first down and goal for the Jaguars at the 9-yard line. We've got 4:37 and counting left to go in this first quarter. The Jaguars controlling the ball and the clock on this opening drive. Eberhardt will keep it. Try to get outside.
Good play once again. Hey.
Quarterback number 10, Ben Eberhardt.
And let's see, he was met out there by, looked like Scott Favors.
Scott Favors once again was leading the charge there, and Scott's had a very, very active night here in the first quarter so far.
So second and goal for the Jaguars, and they've got the ball inside the 10-yard line. Really no gain on that play. Second down and goal at the 9. Boy, if Habersham defense could dig in and hold them here, that would be a
big lift for them. It really would be.
Thrown to the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to hit the guy who's caught 2 previous passes, Antonio Harper, and just a little off the target.
Yeah, excellent cover then by Josh Sellers, also back there in the defensive secondary. So good job of defensive secondary then by Josh Sellers. A third down, so this is a big one right here for the Raiders. This is a big one.
Habersham Central, number 2, actually tied for second place in the sub-region as we enter tonight's game with Central Gwinnett and Heritage. And, of course, Cedar Shoals, that perfect 3-0 sub-region mark, trying to take control of the sub-region tonight. The give is to Christopher. Russell Christopher, touchdown.
Well, they just got him right on the outside then, Ken, and he just took a little stroll right on into the end zone. Tremendous speed once he got on the corner. Boy, it just looked like he hit another gear then, Ken, and got that thing in the end zone. And tremendous drive. It was aided by a 15-yard penalty, of course. 2-point play.
2-point play is good. That's to Christopher. So your score with 3:40 left to go in this first quarter. Cedar Shoals 8, Habersham Central nothing. This is high school football on TV 32. The Cedar Shoals Jaguars driving 84 yards in their opening possession. Russell Christopher taking it in from 9 yards out, and he also catch the 2-point conversion pass, and your score 8-0 with 3:40 left to go in the first quarter. An impressive opening drive, Mac.
And they kept that ball the better part of 8 minutes, Ken.
There's the kick by the Jaguars. It'll be taken by Josh Sellers of the Raiders up across the
got a hole.
Coming up this near sideline, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Good field position for the Raiders on their first possession.
Good job then. Excellent job by the Raiders on their specialty teams. Got the ball in good field position. So the Raiders now looking to go to work on offense.
First down and 10 for Habersham Central. And on offense for the Raiders, Heath Webb, the senior quarterback. Behind him, Adam Barron and Chris Payne and Kyle Garrett. They're all seniors back behind the quarterback. First down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Webb will keep it and look for an opening. Got an opening up across the 40, the 45, and near the 46-yard line. A good gain of 8 yards.
Super read then by Heath Webb, getting it out there on the corner. And then once he got it on the corner, turned it upfield. And Tony Bing, junior secondary man then, stopped him from going for additional yardage. Faced the fullback up in the inside then from the full house backfield and did a good job on his read on the option.
So a second down, and we'll call it a long 2 for the Raiders at the 46-yard line. Heath Webb will give it to Kyle Garrett. And Garrett should have the first down. If not, he'll be very, very close.
Liko Lumpkin then from the nose guard position, playing both ways tonight, knife through, but nevertheless he was able to get the first down. So Habersham Central now for the first down. So the Raiders showing that they've got a lot of pride, coming right back after that kickoff and coming down the field and got a first down.
So first down and 10 for Habersham Central at their own 48-yard line. There you see Heath Webb up over center, Matthew Smith. And Webb will keep it and hit right there on the line. He might score for it for a couple of yards. In fact, well, he got more than I thought, Mac, up across the 50 to the 48-yard line.
He did. He got more than I thought they did. Greg Jackson, Liko Lumpkin then stopped up the hole pretty good. If you'd have told me that he had got 3 yards out of that, Ken, I wouldn't have believed it.
Second down and 7 for the Raiders. They're inside Jaguar territory at the 48-yard line. 2 backs now behind quarterback Heath Webb. And Webb will give it to Adam Barron, and just a couple of yards, tripped up there at the line.
Nico Lumpkin once again, along with Tom Ames, two seniors, 56 and 57, just pretty much like bookends there. I don't know the weights on these people, Ken, from Cedar Shoals, but trust me, they're big.
We can tell that even up here, can't we? So to bring up a third down for the Raiders. 3rd down and 6 from the 47-yard line of Cedar Shoals.
Big down right here for the Raiders to sustain their march down the field.
Flag on the play. And Habersham Central clapping as if it's going to go against the Jaguars.
Flag before the snap.
Dead ball foul. Offsides against the Cedar Shoals, so it will, let's see, it won't be a first down, but it will certainly make a different call. 3rd down and 1.
No question about it, and it makes it a lot easier call, you know, also. Probably look for some type of power play here, Ken. Full house backfield, just trying to get that first down. And just as soon as I said that, they go to a pro set.
Adam Barron, the fullback, sit directly behind Webb. He'll get the carry. Barron's got the first down and more, up across the 40 to the 37-yard line. First down, Habersham Central.
Making the stop. Good drive in, good call. Tony Bing making the tackle along with number 55, Tony Jewell. One junior and one senior then making the stop.
So the Raiders of Habersham Central now on the drive. Only 14 seconds left to go in this first quarter. The Jaguars leading Habersham Central 8-0, but the Habersham offense showing that they can move the ball as well into Cedar Shoal territory at the 37-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter. Once again, your score, Cedar Shoals 8, Habersham Central nothing. This is high school football on TV 32.
Are you building a garage, deck, or adding on to the house? Then you need to stop.
Stadium in Mount Airy, Georgia, getting set to start second quarter action. Cedar Shoals leading Habersham Central 8-0, but the Raiders on the drive at the Jaguar 37-yard line. First down and 10. Webb will keep it. Take it upfield across the 35 to the 33-yard line.
It looked like that he might go for major yardage then, Ken, but defensive secondary man, number 28, Dante Hodge, boy, he just closed that alley so quick. Tremendous quickness, and just a sophomore. That was a well-executed offensive play, but whew, the quickness of Hodge then just closed that running lane down so much that still got pretty good yardage, but not as much as it could have possibly.
Second down and 6 for Habersham at the Jaguar 34-yard line. And this time, well, once again, we'll keep it and lean forward near the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards.
Same time, same station, same two. Dante Hodge once again along with Heath Webb.
31-yard line, the Jaguars.
This will bring up another important third down. Of course, you get it near the 30-yard line, and you say, well, Jerry Chapman might just go in there and kick a field goal.
He's a good one and just a junior.
They'll have to cross the 27 for the first down. So we'll call it third down and a long 3 for the Raiders. Heath Webb will take it, fake it, now throw, and it's complete. Jonathan Gasly. Touchdown! Beautiful pass and excellent running by Jonathan Gasly. A 31-yard touchdown pass.
Thank Jonathan Gasly. Good call, great execution. I got to give my old offensive line some credit up there. Keith Drain and Shane Hill and Matthew Smith, along with Matt Nicholson and O'Casey Bogue. They gave him enough time. He gave a little fake in the line to freeze the linebacker for just a little bit. Excellent route by Jonathan Gasly then. So the Raiders now are going to come back and they're going to go for 2, and rightly so, because early in the ball game.
And Habersham Central will call timeout. Make sure they've got the play they want to call there.
And got to have enough players, too.
Jonathan Gasly for the Raiders. Let's see, that is his 3rd touchdown of the season. Heath Webb, that's his 4th touchdown passing. So that's a good combination, Gasly and Webb. We saw them play earlier in the year against Stevens County, quite a potent combination.
They certainly are. And Heath Webb, this is the first time I've seen the Raiders since they played Stevens, and tremendous improvement by this ball club, since then. And Heath Webb, having played in the secondary last year and then coming back this year and being the field general for the Raiders, doing an excellent job.
Gasly also scored a touchdown off of a Heath Webb pass last week against Duluth. It was a 17-yarder. This one goes for 31 yards. And a lot of poise by the Habersham Central offense. They started that drive on their own 38-yard line, and they showed that Cedar Shoals that they could drive the ball too.
They certainly did. And keep in mind, Whitfield, no fumbles yet. Don't want to jinx any team, but they got it in the end zone. Now they're going to go for 2, and rightly so, early in the ball game. With the Cedar Shoals Jaguars having been able to convert on a 2-point conversion. So good call on the part of Coach Black and his staff to go for 2 also.
Going for the 2-point conversion now, Heath Webb, and there's a flag on the play. Might go against Cedar Shoals.
Penalty on the Jaguars lining up.
They were offsides. Moves the ball a little closer, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit closer. You go half the distance. So it makes a running play a little bit more attractive here, Ken.
Big Matthew Smith, the center. Heath Webb set to receive the snap. They'll fake it. Throw to the end zone. And
just
complete.
off his fingertip.
Jonathan Gasly was intended receiver again. So the 2-point conversion pass was no good.
Good drive by the Raiders, Ken.
There's your score. 10:34 left to go. 8-6 with the Jaguars, the lead.
Kicking off for the Raiders. Lead number 9, Jerry Chapman.
A 62-yard drive by Habersham Central. Now we'll get set to see Jerry Chapman kick the ball away.
Number 7, Russell Christopher.
And the Christopher Cousins back to receive the kick. And that's Russell Christopher, number 7, Mike Christopher, number 15. There's the kick by Cedar Shoals' Torrey Bell. Or excuse me, by Jerry Chapman, and Cedar Shoals with the return up near the 39-yard line. And let's see who that was. That was number 22, Kiki Wright with the carry. First down and 10, Cedar Shoals from the 39-yard line.
Ken, we're happy to have join us in our telecast booth. I had mentioned a while ago, Charles, how old you had gotten because I coached you in high school. This is Coach Charles Turner, the very, very fine athletic director and also successful basketball coach at Cedar Shoals. Charles, welcome to Northeast Georgia where it's cold.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here. I came prepared. You see I got my stocking cap on.
And on first down, Eberhardt looks to throw and does. And it's complete to Chuck Turner.
Chuck Turner, of all people, I think you know a little bit about that young man. Do you have any trouble feeding him?
I've fed him quite a few times, and he is a big eater, Mike.
Charles, being athletic director at a school, how many sports do y'all have down at Cedar Shoals?
We've got 18 programs, and we fill 34 athletic teams.
That's quite a job in itself, just to keep the schedules and officials and making sure the facilities are ready and everything.
That's exactly right. We get a lot of help from our district, and, we've got an excellent coaching staff. We've got 33 coaches on the staff, and, we're proud of them and excellent job that they do.
Kiki Wright on the carry. He's got the first down for Cedar Shoals.
Coach, you have a
primarily a senior-laden football team this year. Notice that you're playing, about 13 seniors offensively and defensively, a few juniors and about 3 sophomores. Off to a great start this year.
Yeah, that's right. And I hope you don't mind me calling you Mac, Coach Paz. But
like I said, you're the one that got older. I stayed the same.
But, we are real proud of our football team so far. We played great all year. Gave Valdosta an excellent fight down in Cleveland Field. And, this is a crucial ball game, and it don't look like we're in the driver's seat quite yet.
And number 21, Antonio Harper, he's down to the Habersham Central 34-yard line. Another first down.
And Coach Turner, your football team, senior leadership, good skilled people, good power backfield, a lot of diversification in Coach Herron's offense.
That's exactly right, and we're real pleased that we've got balance in all the grade levels, and the depth factor. That's one of the things about this team, usually in the third and fourth quarter, because we do run so many people in at the skill position. That's definitely an asset to any team, and it's always kind of hard to defend it.
On first down, they'll give it to Kiki Wright. Boy, he breaks through the line and down to the 17-yard line.
Having talked with Coach Herron before the ball game, he holds Habersham Central in the very, very highest respect.
Oh, of course. I mean, I was just looking in the program there, and I see that Habersham leads us in one loss right now. I believe that 3-2. Is that right? So, we've always got great respect for Habersham.
And it's second down for the Jaguars at Habersham Central's 17-yard line. On mix-up on the play, the ball's on the ground. Let's see who recovered the football. Cedar Shoals believe that they got it. Let's wait for the guy in the striped shirt to say. Yeah, Cedar Shoals will retain possession. Third down, though, for Jaguars.
I was talking to your coaching staff before the game, and by the way, they're very, very congenial and very, very nice. I told them that I knew you, so I guess that was the reason they were nice. But then I went ahead and told them that I coached you in high school, and they said, man, you must be old.
On third down, Eberhardt rolling out, looking for running room, trying to dodge a couple of tacklers, trying to dodge for that first down, and I believe it's going to be a little bit short. And there's also a penalty flag on the play.
Dan Eberhardt in on the tackle for the Raiders. Number 4, Nate Pulliam, the flag on the play.
Nate Pulliam making the tackle over there, and let's see what the call is going to be. Holding against the Jaguars.
Holding on the Jaguars.
Early in the first quarter, Ken, the Jaguars were aided by a 15-yard penalty, and then that sustained their drive to get them on down the field. Of course, they made up the other 65, on the ground. But then this is kind of the way the game goes, Coach Turner. You'll have a break go for you sometime, then you turn right around when you need it, and it goes the other way.
That's exactly right. And I saw the drive by Habersham, too, was almost killed, and they had a little penalty there, and then came right back and made a big play for the touchdown. So it's definitely, in any sport, a game of momentums.
So on third down, the Jaguars will have to cross the 14-yard line for the first. Third down, we'll call it 14.
Big down for the Jaguars here.
Eberhardt will roll out, look to throw.
Wide open.
Wide open.
Touchdown.
That is Antonio Harper. Touchdown. A 27-yard touchdown.
Well, we mentioned, Ken, how big that down was for the Jaguars, and it showed that they come right back, accepted the challenge after the penalty, then threw it over there to him. And as we were talking about to Coach Turner a while ago, they've just got so many weapons. We're going to see if they're going to cover this two-point conversion. A while ago, young Chuck Turner just raised up and threw that thing like the quarterback from Greene County used to throw it. Is that right? You taught him that, didn't you, Coach?
Well, I tell you what, they ran that play against Clark Central the first game of the season this year, and it worked, and they've been looking for it ever since.
Extra points.
And everybody's been
is good.
Tonight it was open once again. And that's usually what happens. You can do something like that early. You can do something like that early, and then teams scout you out.
Let's take a break in the action here. 6:53 left to go in the ball game in the first half, and Cedar Shoals leading 15-6. This is high school football at Cedar Stadium with the score Cedar Shoals 15 and Habersham Central 6. And we're fixing to have a kickoff here, but first, Mac, let's talk some more with the coach.
Coach, the Jaguars came right back then, equal to the challenge, marched right back down the field.
Yeah, that was a little play action pass and a bootleg action, and Antonio was wide open, and you know, once that thing is in the air and you're that far open, you just hope to haul it in, and he did.
Kickoff then, Ken went down there, he touched it and then went out of bounds, and because he touched it there, that's where the Raiders will have to put the ball in place. Coach Turner, Cedar Shoals this coming year, 1994, will be going into AAA. We're happy to have Cedar Shoals. This is twice we've had them on TV 32. Last year when they played Hab. Y'all are going to be coming into AAA this coming football season.
Yeah, that's right, Mac. That was a decision that we did a lot of thinking and talking and actually debating over. And the final conclusion was that we felt that was the best thing to do for our kids for 93-94.
And that's Chris Payne up across the 25 near the 29-yard line. A big first down for Habersham Central.
We talked about Cedar Shoals, Ken, coming right back down the field. The Raiders showing how much pride they have. They won't be denied because this is an all-important game that we alluded to, you know, early in the telecast. And once a kickoff, now they've gotten themselves out of the hole, and now they're in good field position, you know, to start their offense. Coach Turner, Habersham Central, not very, very fancy, just old-fashioned football.
That's right. Just come right at you and, you know, just grind those yards out. And, you know, if you can establish a good running game, you know, that usually is showing the statistics, and, you know, usually you get good results.
And the give, once again, Chris Payne. Chris Payne again up near the 38-yard line.
Playing in AAA, football, basketball, cuts down on your travel, but not necessarily coming into an easier league.
Oh, no question. And, you know, a lot of people are talking to me about the move and asking why. And they feel that we're making a step down. And I just pretty much tell them straight out, we're making a step in a different direction, but by no means are we stepping down. We feel that it would be as competitive or even more competitive, and really cutting down on the travel is the big thing that we wanted to do for all of our programs, especially, you know, with the number of programs that I mentioned to you earlier. Our travel budget just is eating up every year. So we wanted to try this 2 years and see if this is the best thing to do.
First down and 10 for Habersham Central at their own 38-yard line. There you see a good shot of Heath Webb up over center Matthew Smith. And Heath will fake it. Oh, he's
big play!
35-yard line, 3 yards behind the line.
Big play. Tyrone Lester coming from the inside linebacker position. He scraped off the end, Ken, coming right off the defensive end up to Tom Aves there, and made a big play for the Cedar Shoals Jaguars. Coach Turner, you got the field, you know, going in AAA from top to bottom in football, tough players, tough teams, outstanding coaches.
Oh, exactly right. Coming in here with teams like, you know, Stevens County and Hart County, and, you know, you got the Gainesville schools that are always traditionally tough, and, you know, we're just looking forward to it, and we're not going to lighten up a bit. We're just going to have to get down and work just a little bit harder.
Second down and 13. Heath Webb looking to throw, pressured, but he gets his pass away. Jonathan Gasly with the reception up near the 44-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by about 7 yards.
Excellent poise by Heath Webb then. Ran a little play-action pass. Interior offensive line gave him time to find the receiver, and I think he and Gasly have got something going because they have connected on numerous times.
Good arm, too.
Looks real, real good. Coach, also we talked about in AAA, doesn't get any easier in basketball either.
Oh, no question about that. You know, as I said, we got our work cut out for us. This has been known as the region in AAA as far as basketball is concerned. And, you know, here again, we'll have to step it up a notch to make sure that we are competitive.
Heath Webb back to throw, rolling out. And he's got his receiver. And that's number 8, Jed Lacey. Lacey hauls it in at the 47-yard line. That should be a first down.
Ken Heath Webb has done an excellent job directing this attack down here, staying in the pocket, watching to see, but still just a little bit short, what the first down looked like.
Well, I think he trapped the ball. They said he trapped it, so it's going to bring up a fourth down. I thought he caught it too, but fourth down for the Raiders. So back to punt is Josh Sellers standing aside his 30-yard line.
Chuck Turner.
Sellers getting set to receive it. Good snap. Gets the kick away. High kick. It'll bounce across the 30, across the 25, and be down near the 22-yard line. Cedar Shoals first down and 10 at the 22.
Coach, I was talking to Coach Heron before the game. Probably playing in AAA is going to help you Gates from the standpoint of the visiting team coming to you.
Well, that's exactly right. The other team having a chance to come and, people having to get off work in time and having enough time to get there, will definitely, hopefully, increase our crowds and, make our attendance a lot better.
So the Jaguars first down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Eberhardt will give to Kiki right at the middle, and he'll slip down on the turf and fall at the 28-yard line.
Kiki has definitely kept those defensive secondary busy tonight, Ken. Once he pops that line of scrimmage, he's got tremendous acceleration. Looked like he was getting ready to change then and just slipped down just a little bit, and they were able to make the tackle. Coach, tremendous girls basketball program that you developed down at Cedar Shoals, having knocked on the door many, many times. And we'll talk about just one more in a minute about when you kick the door in.
On second down, the give once again is Kiki Wright. Boy, he's hit there by the defense, but he goes across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Ken, I'm going to tell you, it's physical out there on those two offensive lines. Habersham Central popping up, Rod Tremere and held also both every time coming up in the defensive secondary in the linebacker position. Coach, state championship, girls basketball, young team last year. What about the prospects for this season?
Well, we've been real fortunate to have a lot of good players at Cedar Shoals, and we've played in a competitive league with Quad A. We played the best teams in the state usually, and, we've got another good ball club coming back.
Big play! And there's a flag on the play. That was Eberhardt trying to get outside, and the Habersham defense hauls him down. Was that Rod Tremere?
Looked like it was Rod Tremere on the tackle cam, but I think they got a face mask inadvertently. I don't think it was intentional, but looks like they are going to have a face mask penalty. Check it there and see what it says. Yes, face mask penalty.
15-yarder, too. That'll give them the first down.
Face mask on the Raiders.
So they'll spot the ball at the 37-yard line. First down for the Jaguars.
Coach Larry Black saying a few words of encouragement or something down there. Probably just real soft and sweet like I used to talk to you, Charles.
Oh, of course.
Probably didn't holler at all.
Yeah, that's right. You get real close so you wouldn't have to.
We're down under 2 minutes to go in this first half. The Jaguars of Cedar Shoals leading the Raiders of Habersham Central 15-6, and Cedar Shoals first down and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Eberhardt will throw quickly, and once again, that is Antonio Harper off to the races across the 45, knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
They've had success with that pattern, Ken, throwing it out there on the curve. David Smith, defensive end, then kept that from going for additional yardage.
And the times that I've seen Cedar Shoals, Coach Turner, have they been throwing that much to the split end?
Well, they pretty much throw periodically. I don't, it depends on the game. If they look out and see something that they can gain from throwing that little pass, they'll do it.
So timeout on the field. It'll be first down and 10 at the 45-yard line for Cedar Shoals, leading 15-6 over Habersham Central. And the clock on the wall says a minute 35 left to go in this first half of action.
Ken, they run so many running plays, and they'll raise up and throw a pass, and they've been able to complete so many, but that just keeps the clock running because they've thrown very, very few, incompletions tonight. Charles, we certainly are looking forward to seeing you for many years to come, and we hope it works out well for y'all to stay in AAA as far as the relationship is concerned. We hope that the Jaguars don't beat people too bad in all those endeavors. Certainly, we want to wish you in your athletic directorship and to all y'all's teams there the utmost of success.
Well, thanks a lot, and I thank you for inviting me up. And again, I'd like to tell the people in North Georgia they've got an excellent duo here on TV 32, and we just appreciate the tremendous work that you all do in covering North Georgia athletics.
Thank you, Charles, for being with us.
Okay.
Ben Everhart, the quarterback, scrambling and rolling around back there. He'll get it up near the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a second down for Cedar Shoals at the Habersham 43-yard line. We're counting it down, 1:13 and counting left to go in this first half. And the Cedar Shoal quickly back up to the line. On second down, Everhart this time will give to the back, Chuck Turner, I believe it is.
Big play there.
Misdirection there, looked like, Mac.
It was a good misdirection then. I tell you, these linebackers and defensive ends, they are really playing hard. And they did an excellent job then of snuffing that play out and stopping it. So, big play. So far, Cedar Shoals, Ken, has still been equal to the task when they've had 3rd and long. And every time they've had 3rd and long, they've been able to come back and be successful with some type of play. But as Coach Turner was talking about a while ago, still, listen, folks, there's a lot of hard licks going on out there, and those young men are giving it everything they've got.
So when we go back and play, it'll be 3rd down, but a long 14 for Cedar Shoals. The ball is spotted at the 48-yard line. They'll have to cross the 35 for the first down. So let's see what Coach Jeff Heron can come up with, try to get the first down. There's only been one punt in the ball game, that by Habersham Central. Cedar Shoals started this drive on their own 22-yard line with the lead 15-6.
Well, Coach Larry Black, this is a big down for him, Coach. He wants to try to keep them from getting the first down, certainly, and making them punt. But more importantly, he doesn't want them to get another score, you know, before halftime, either bail the field goal or touchdown.
So on 3rd down.
Big play. Yes, sir.
There's Kiki Wright with the run. He's not going to get the first down.
A little quick trap that they were running then, and stopped by the interior line. Great job of staying at home, you know, by Jake Williams and Casey Allen and Bill Simmons and Bradley Hill and Rod Tremere filling in the hole there. So 4th down. So it looks like Cedar Shoals may be punting this one away, Ken.
And we're down to 33 seconds and counting left to go in this first half. The Raiders to get their hands on the ball once more. Back to receive the punt is Nate Pulliam for Habersham Central, standing inside his own 20-yard line. Of course, Cedar Shoals trying to run as much clock as possible. And Habersham Central will call timeout to try to conserve some of that time. Only 17 seconds left to go, though, in this first half. I want to invite you to stand by. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the halftime performance by the Habersham Central Band of Blue here at Raider Stadium.
Coach Larry Black talking to his Chargers, telling them that, you know, with this amount of time left on the clock, Ken, 17 seconds, be ready for a fake. He's just telling them to have their eyes open and not try to give up anything that would let them have the opportunity to kick a field goal or possibly even give it into the end zone. Been well played the first half, I thought, Ken, on the part of both of these teams. Couple 3 penalties here and there changed the momentum. You know, not necessarily the momentum, but it changed, you know, the plays there on the field at that particular time. So, but very well played, you know, by both of these teams.
And to punt it away for Cedar Shoals is Jeremiah Smith. He's standing at his own 40-yard line. Nate Pulliam to receive the punt. And it's a good snap. And it's pressured, but Smith gets it away. Flag on the play, though. They'll let the ball bounce. It just might be roughing the kicker on that one as the ball rolls dead at the 20-yard line.
And it's going to be coming back, and then that'll be for first down also, I believe, Ken.
And we're down to 4 seconds. 4 seconds left to go in this first half, so maybe a big throw to the end zone by Everhart.
Well, he's got a very, very capable They have the young men over there practicing the field goal.
Let's see where they'll mark it off, where it ends up at. 15-yarder. Roughing the kicker. And they'll spot the ball near the 31-yard line. Time for one play. Of course, Cedar Shoals will take time out here and decide exactly what they want to do with just 4 seconds left to go.
And it looks like they will be attempting the field goal because the field goal kicker has come on the field, Ken. So number 18, Torrey Bell, coming in to try to tack 3 points on to this lead. Young sophomore kicker.
Well, Habersham Central showed a lot of poise after the Jaguars got on the board first, took their opening possession, drove right down the field and scored, and then Habersham Central coming down the field on their first possession and scoring as well. And then, of course, the Jaguars getting that big pass play from Eberhardt to Antonio Harper, the 27-yard pass complete. And Habersham Central on their next offensive possession had to punt. So here we are, Cedar Shoals with 4 seconds left to go to try a field goal. They'll spot it at the 38-yard line. This will be a 48-yard field goal attempt by Torrey Bell. The ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is up. Just short. Good effort by Torrey Bell, but it falls just short. So that's the end of the first half. And your score, Cedar Shoals 15, Habersham Central 6. Stay with us for halftime activities. This is high school football on TV 32. Time enjoyment. We're pleased to present the halftime program as presented tonight by the Habersham Central Band of Blue.
And now coming onto the field, Habersham Central Band of Blue. We'd like to recognize the Band of Blue tonight for having gone to the Southern Invitational Music Festival last weekend at Marietta, Georgia, Sprayberry High School. The band received an overall excellent rating. Drumline received an overall excellent rating. Our color guard received a superior rating. And drum majors Stephanie Gary and Megan Rapinski received a superior rating. A wonderful job by the Habersham Central Band at the Southern Invitational Music Festival. Give them a hand. Thank you. And now drum majors Stephanie Gary and Megan Rapinski in the Habersham Central Band. Tonight's performance is dedicated to senior trumpet player John Zimmerman, who can't be with us. He had knee surgery yesterday, and we are thinking of you, John, and this is for you. And now J-Mo Cooks, tour de force. And now from the 70s, Lethal by the Ides of March. Taboo. And now Simon and Garfunkel's Scarborough Fair. Ladies and gentlemen, the Habersham Central Band of Blue.
Raider Stadium in Mount Airy, Georgia. We're getting set to start the second half of action. Cedar Shoals leading Habersham Central by the score of 15-6. And let's take a look at some of those halftime stats. Habersham Central had 4 first downs compared to Cedar Shoals 10. And the rushing department, Habersham Central had 53, Cedar Shoals had 67, and the passing department, Hab Central had 38. Cedar Shoals Jaguars had 93 yards passing, and total yardage, it was Habersham 91 compared to Cedar Shoals 160.
Certainly, you know, the stats on the running game were very, very close, but we talked about how effectively the passing game was, so certainly, you know, that was a difference, you know, in the first half.
And the kickoff by Cedar Shoals taken by Chris Payne of Habersham Central up across the 20 to the 22-yard line. First down and 10 for the Raiders.
Habersham Central then, Ken, had a kickoff return. They were trying to get to the wall over here on this side, but the wall was set up real well, but Cedar Shoals has so much speed, they were able to get down there and break through the wall before he could turn the corner to get behind the wall. So Central starting out now from about the 20-yard line, Ken.
First down and 10 for the Raiders. Wanting to do something with this opening possession of the third quarter, put together drive. That's Heath Webb. He'll keep it, and he'll get a couple of yards up near the 24-yard line.
Greg Jackson from his backer position, turning it back up inside, and then getting some help from the inside from his defensive end, number 74 then, Anthony Scott.
So it'll be a second down, and we'll call it 7 for the Raiders at the 24-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter, 15-6. The Jaguars with the lead. And Heath Webb, the quarterback, up over big Matthew Smith. Webb will fake it to the fullback. Now look to throw. Down the field. Almost intercepted. He was intending that for Nate Pulliam.
Number 3, good job of defensive secondary work then by that young man. Looked like Tony Bean covering then, and he knocked it away just at the last minute. He had him open. Well-thrown ball. Excellent play-action pass. Good job by those offensive linemen up there. Had it not been for that super deflection by the defensive back, Tony Bean, then we might have had 6.
Pulliam would have been off to the races. Instead, it's third down now, 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. All at the 24-yard line. Single back behind Heath Webb is Adam Barron. You've got 3 people split out. And Heath Webb looking to throw. He's pressured. Oh, it hit right there at the line.
Big stop then. Big number 78, Bernard Young. And just looking at it from here, Ken, I'll say he goes at least 260, you know, maybe 270. But he stayed at home in defensive end position then, defensive tackle position, and the Raiders will have to punt it away.
Back to kick it for Habersham Central is Josh Sellers. Good snap, and Sellers gets a good high kick.
Beautiful punt.
It'll be looked at by Tony Bing. He'll back away and let it bounce, and it takes a good Habersham Central bounce down to the 28-yard line. First down and 10 for the Jaguars at their own 28 with 9:57 left to go in this third quarter.
Well, the Jaguars now will start their first offensive drive of the second half, and the Raiders, that long play almost went for a touchdown then, but great defensive play. The Raiders got to come back and meet the challenge as they did in the first half and come back and respond on defense.
First down and 10 for Cedar Shoals at their own 28-yard line. The quarterback is Ben Eberhardt, and he'll give it to Kiki Wright. And Wright pushing and driving up near the 30-yard line. He'll get a couple of yards.
Kiki Wright, number 22.
Kiki just keeps on kikiing. Boy, he runs strong, doesn't he?
He's a large young fella. He can put down some biscuits, I guess, Mac.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And, you know, looks like he's been on obviously, you know, good, strong weight program down at Cedar Shoals. Tremendous leg drive and outstanding physical specimen of an athlete.
So the Jaguars all just across the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Split wide to this near side is Ken Stewart. We saw him at quarterback last year some for the Cedar Shoals. Flag on the play. An illegal procedure against the Cedar Shoals, so they'll march this one off against the Jaguars.
A few more penalties than we're accustomed to seeing, you know, this time in the season, Ken. You usually anticipate, you know, those kind of penalties, you know, early in the season, but multiple penalties here tonight.
2nd down and 13 for Cedar Shoals. Ball at the 25-yard line. And the give is to...
Big play!
Russell Christopher had the ball. He's chopped down behind the line.
Bradley Hale firing through from the back of position. Big defensive play for the Raiders. And we had mentioned about being equal to the challenge. Now we want to watch. We were able to keep up with the 3rd down conversions. And when they had 3rd down conversions in the first half, the Jaguars were good on 3 or 4. Now, they had more opportunities, but they had more chances to get a 1st down on 2nd down. But on actual 3rd down plays in the first half, they were 3 for 4. So this is big right here for the Habersham Central Raiders. This is big.
On 3rd down, Eberhardt looked to throw, throwing long downfield, incomplete. Trying to hit Chuck Turner on that far sideline, slightly overthrown.
This gives the Jaguars, this gives the Raiders an opportunity to stop a little momentum. Their first offensive thrust, Ken, was stopped by the Jaguars. They, in turn, came back, held in check the Jaguars. So the Jaguars will be punting. Charles, Ken, this will be the first time the Jaguars have punted tonight.
That's right. So Jeremiah Smith, I think he punted earlier, but it was canceled by penalty.
Negated by the penalty.
So there's Smith's punt, and the Raiders will watch it bounce on that soggy turf, and it'll be down at the 41-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Habersham Central at their own 41. 7:48 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Habersham Central trailing Cedar Shoals 15-6.
Ken, they have an award-winning band up here at Habersham Central under Nelson Payne, the band of blue. Year in and year out, they put on stellar performances, but constantly receive, you know, outstanding and superior ratings in all of those events that they're in, and another fine performance by them tonight.
1st down and 10 for the Raiders at their 41-yard line. Heath Webb will give it off. Right at the middle goes Adam Barron, and Barron will cross the 47-yard line. A good gain on 1st down.
The defensive secondary for both of these clubs has been real busy tonight, Ken, making tackles. Christopher then coming up and making the tackles. Habersham Central in the first half. Cedar Shoals able to get the ball on the corner. And also Habersham Central popping the line of scrimmage, making it necessary for the defensive secondary to have to come up and make the tackle.
A gain of 5 yards in that 1st down, so 2nd and 5 for the Raiders at the 47-yard line. And the give this time, right up the middle again. Wow, watch him work. That's Chris Payne working hard.
Chris Payne carries for the
Saw him run the ball so effectively, you know, against Stevens County, and he continues to play hard and run hard for Habersham Central Raiders. Now, this is a big 3rd down, you know, for the Raiders here in the 2nd half, Ken. Big 3rd down.
Chris Payne, the leading ground gainer for Coach Larry Black. Let's see, it'll be about 3rd and 3, we'll call it, at the 48-yard line. The 2nd offensive possession for the Raiders. The first one, they had to punt it away. 3rd down and 3 for Habersham Central at their own 48-yard line. That's Adam Barron in motion. And the pitch out is to Chris Payne, looking for blocking. He's got the 1st down and more at the 47-yard line.
Once again, defensive secondary, Mike Christopher. Well, I like that offensive play then, Ken. They lined up, wing set, then sent the halfback in motion, give them extra power on that side to get the extra block on that side. Got a block down from the tight end, covered sealed off the corner on that side, and then he got the much-needed first down, and that keeps this drive alive for the Raiders of Habersham Central and Coach Larry Black.
And they spotted at the 47-yard line of Cedar Shoals, first down and 10. Heath Webb this time will roll down the line. He'll be sacked right there at the line. He couldn't find any opening.
Greg Jackson from his backer position doesn't give you much room to do anything. He is so quick. Then he got some help from Tony Jewell then, the fine senior backer also. So they just close that hole. Sometimes, Ken, it seems like there's an alley there. And honestly, from our perspective here, there is an alley there. But it closes so quick with the defensive secondary or the linebacker core, from Cedar Shoals, that it looks like the play didn't do very well. But the hole is there, and then it just closes.
Second down and 8 for Habersham Central at the Jaguar 46. And the give this time, Adam Barron has got running room up across the 45 down to the 43-yard line.
I think this team, Ken, might be giving us an exhibition of good foot speed on the defensive side of the football, because even those linemen that we see pursuing the football, they do a super job also. So this may be the most speed that we've seen on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively, by one team.
I thought he had more than that, but he gained about 3 yards. So third down and 5 for Habersham Central. And they're at the Jaguar 42-yard line. They'll have to cross the 37 for the first. The fake to the fullback. Now throwing, and it's almost intercepted. He was trying to hit Chris Payne on the far sideline.
Tyrone Lester then was able to deflect that pass, and twice in a row now, twice on key situations, third down situation, they have been able, that was third down situation, then they were able to knock down the pass.
So Josh Sellers set to punt it away for Habersham Central.
Right here for
sacked way back at the 30-yard line.
Well, they needed that. They needed it down here on that other one, but then they came through then in that situation and got him firing through there. Rod Tremere, great play by him. A lot of pursuit, looking also in getting some assistance there. Number 87, Daniel Smith from the defensive end, but big play for him. Now Cedar Shoals has to punt away to Central, and this is going to probably give them good field position now, so they want to turn it around and try to get something going offensively.
Jeremiah Smith standing inside his own 20-yard line, getting set to punt it away to the Raiders. Good snap, and he'll get the kick away. Good high
good
kick.
Punt. Good punt.
And Raiders will watch it bounce. It takes a Jaguar bounce across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. And that's where it'll be down. First down and 10 for Habersham Central at the 24. So this will be Habersham Central's third offensive possession. No scoring. Third offensive possession of the second half. No scoring in that third quarter. And now the Raiders will try to move the ball out from their own 24-yard line. First down and 10 for Habersham Central. Wishbone backfield behind quarterback Heath Webb. Webb will give it off to Chris Payne. Payne pushing up near the 25-yard line. Make that the 30-yard line. He'll gain about 5 yards. Good offensive line blocking.
Yeah, they did an excellent job up front. And this is going to be a key drive right here for the Habersham Central Raiders. They need to get down there and get 3 points out of this or get a touchdown out of this. Good job up front by those men. He runs so hard. If you just give him a little help up front, he does a super job. Not to really be a power back. He just runs so hard and he plays so tough. Good-looking football play.
Second down and 4 for Habersham Central. Ball just across the 30-yard line. They'll fake it to the fullback. Heath Webb has it, and he'll be tackled right there at the 31-yard line. A gain of only 1 yard.
Once again, Ken, did you see they were coming into our camera here then? Did you see how open he was fixing to be? And then that speed of Cedar Shoals just closes it, so quick. Just Tony Jewell closed it right off. The alley was there. As you can see, we talked about it going the other side a while ago. and then they just closed. So much foot speed.
3rd down and 3 for the Raiders at the 31-yard line. They'll have to get beyond that 34-yard marker. And Heath Webb this time has an opening. He's got the 1st down and more up near the 39-yard line.
Excellent read. Cut it up a little bit quicker then. They got a seal block down on the linebacker then, and he was able to get the 1st down, and the Raiders got a little something going here now. They just need to maintain that, Ken. 9 minutes left in the ball game, trailing just by 9 points. Certainly they could get down here and make something happen. Field goal, perhaps, 6, 7 points out of it. They'd be right back in it.
1st down and 10 for Habersham Central. Ball just shy of the 40-yard line. And they'll shift now. 2 backs behind Webb. He'll fake to, oh, what a play. He was rolling down the line and got hit right there at the line.
They had a little corner blitz coming then from the secondary by Tony Bing, and he closed it off real good. And just very little yardage then by Heath Webb.
Keith Crane got it from that play. Offensive guard hobbling a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that. He's still in there. 2nd down and 9 from the 41-yard line.
Needs substantial yardage on this, Ken, so that 3rd down play is not as hard.
And the fake to the fullback. Now Webb will throw.
Got him open.
Jonathan Gasly, I believe, up near the 50-yard line.
That's going to be a 1st down too, Ken.
Yeah, that'll be a 1st down at 50.
Good-looking play. Good call by the coaching staff. Well executed. Little play action once again. Those offensive linemen, Shane Hill, Matthew Smith, Keith Crane, old Matt Nicholson doing a good job of giving him time to be able to throw the football. He was looking, of course, for none other than Mr. Jonathan Gasly, Mr. Sure Hands himself.
1st down and 10 for the Raiders right at the midfield stripe. This time, Heath Webb will look to throw, and it's just off the hands of Nate Pulliam on the near sideline.
Good call. 1st down, had been running the ball. Good field position. Ran a little simple pattern, a little out pattern over there to Nate Pulliam. Good call.
2nd down and 10 now for the Raiders at the 50-yard line. 7:25 left to go in the ball game. And the Raiders trailing by 9 points. Single back behind Heath Webb is Adam Barron with 3 wide receivers. Now Barron goes in motion, so Heath Webb will drop straight back to pass. Pressured! He's going to be sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Good job then by the defensive secondary, and that's Liko Lubkin. Was that the one that was playing? Liko?
Liko. So that's a loss on the play. Back to the 45-yard line. Ball just over the 45. So they're looking at a 3rd down and a long 14. They'll have to cross the 40-yard line for the 1st down. Heath Webb again back to pass. Rolling out a little bit now. Looking downfield. Throwing.
It's complete.
Oh, what a catch. Nate Pulliam.
Oh, yeah.
Interception.
Yes. Yes.
1st down, Habersham Central at the Jaguar 34-yard line. Nate Pulliam, the leading receiver for the Raiders with 13 catches and 194 yards, and I believe that's his first one tonight. He's excited.
Good call by the coaching staff. Ken, they had tried to drop back, and they got so much quickness, rolled him out then to give him a little bit more time. Offensive linemen sustained their blocks to hold them there for just a little bit. Got a seal on that defensive end then and was able to get it down there. Raiders are in business.
1st down and 10 at the Jaguar 33-yard line. The give this time is to Chris Payne. Chris Payne on the outside. Down to the 12-yard line. 1st down, Habersham Central.
They've got some momentum going. They need to stick it in right here now. Look like he might have been shaken up just a little bit. Almost a touchdown.
Chris Payne still on the ground. An excellent run, but he is down at the 11-yard line. We have 6:04 left to go in the ball game. Once again, the Raiders trailing Cedar Shoals by 9 points. Number 1 in the sub-region, Cedar Shoals against number 2, Habersham Central. And Chris Payne is up and walking off under his own power.
I like to watch that young man run the football. I'll tell you what, he's just all guts. He got it going in, and he was looking for that goal line. Once again, Ken, if you weren't playing a team that had so much speed, he would have scored.
Yeah.
But he actually caught him from behind then and kept him from getting in the end zone.
First down and 10 for the Raiders at the 12-yard line. Heath Webb, the quarterback, up over Matthew Smith. And Webb will give it to Adam Barron. He cannot get outside. Dropped after a 1-yard gain.
Picking up about 2. Tackle made by number 34 for the Jaguars.
Greg Jackson. I think he could play halfback on most people's team, Ken. He just got so much speed. I'm just amazed at how the hold is there. The offensive lineman, or if they're trying to get a seal block to get them on the outside, they do their job on the offensive line, and then that speed, it just cuts it off so quick.
And it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Raiders at the 11-yard line. Heath Webb back to throw, looking, and it's complete. But a gain of only 2 yards on the play to, that's Chris Payne with the reception.
There it comes.
So to bring up another 3rd down, Habersham Central will call timeout. And we'll take a break as well. 4:48 left to go in the ball game. The Raiders trailing Cedar Shoals 15-6. This is high school football on TV 32. Terry, Georgia. And we've got a good one going here, folks. Cedar Shoals leading Habersham 15-6, but the Raiders on the march and a very important 3rd down coming up at the Cedar Shoal 9-yard line. 3rd down, and we'll call it 7. We'll have to cross just about the 2-yard line for the 1st down. So 3rd down for Heath Webb, the quarterback for Habersham Central. A little delay. He'll go right up the middle. Has he got the 1st down?
He's got a 1st down, Ken. Super call by the coaching staff then. They were running spread all over the field then, and it's a 1st down, Ken.
Quarterback draw.
Super call. And Heath Webb did everything he could. He did a little tap dance down there. But he got down there and got that 1st down. They'll get in that old power set now, and they got 4 chances to get 6 right here. So we have got a good one.
Let's see where they'll spot the ball. Well, let's see. They'll measure it.
I believe it's a 1st down.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Oh, yeah. What did they bring the chain on for? We could tell that from up here.
By what? A length, 2 lengths of the football, actually. So 1st down for Habersham Central at about the 2-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it's just about the 2-yard line, Ken. Call this play, Ken. Call it.
Oh, you give it to who? Chris Payne or Adam Barron back there?
Either one of them. Watch this power play come.
1st down and goal from the 2-yard line, Habersham Central. And the give is to he kept it, I believe. He faked it to Adam Barron. Heath Webb gets very close, but no signal from the official.
Like I say, watch that option play, Ken.
Well, they'll have another shot at it.
They did want to take a chance on a fumble is what they were doing there.
Boy, the nose of that football is very close to that goal line. It's about 2 feet, I would say, from the goal line. 2nd down and goal for the Raiders.
Well, they'd like to get it in there so they can get this clock stopped, too.
And again, Heath Webb has to keep it. Stopped, in fact, a yard shy.
And the Jaguar defense right here is meeting the challenge, Ken. You got to give them some credit.
In fact, he lost yardage on that one. Back at the 2.5-yard line. We're looking at 3rd down and goal now from the 2.5. So, Habersham Central needing a score here. Heath Webb on 3rd down and goal. This time we'll throw back to the other side.
It's a touchdown!
Gasly! Touchdown! What a play by the Habersham Central Raiders. You think he's going to roll out, and then he throws it back to the other side.
I think they're going to go for one here, Ken. Yeah, go ahead and go for one. That's right. Great call then. Coach Arnold Meeks, whoever made the call down there, great call. Rolled. They had motion going back to the other side. Ran a little delay with the tight end. Gasly, Mr. Sure Hand himself, in the end zone, and the Raiders are in business.
Jerry Chapin to attempt the very important extra point. Oh, and it's blocked. It's blocked.
Extra point, right.
So the extra point is no good. That makes your score 15-12. 15-12. So now, Mac, if Habersham can possibly get their hands on the ball and they set up a field goal, then it would go into overtime.
That's exactly right. And that's a good job by the Raider offense to get that thing in the end zone for one thing. But that was a huge, it looked like number 27 came through for Tyrone Lester and blocked that one, Ken. Couldn't tell, so much was happening then. But he knifed through there from somewhere, and that was a huge play by him. That one may loom big.
Heath Webb and Jonathan Gasly connecting for the second time tonight for a touchdown. Earlier it was a 31-yarder, and this time it's a 3-yarder.
Got about 3 minutes to go, Ken, and Hale probably going to, yep, they will.
So Habersham Central think an onside kick is coming?
What gave you the clue?
You got your good hands people up front. You got Greg Jackson, Kiki Wright, and also Terrence Sims from Cedar Shoals up there, along with Tyrone Lester. Jerry Chapman to do the honors.
10 yards.
There it is. Onside kick. Lester recovers it right there at the 48-yard line. The onside kick is not successful for Habersham Central, so the Jaguars will have it first down and 10.
Jaguar 49-yard line.
Now the clock is the ally of Cedar Shoals, and they will probably be utilizing the clock to its fullest extent, and Habersham will be stopping it after every tackle.
.235 and counting left to go in the ball game. Cedar Shoals with it first down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. And let's see. Do we have a timeout? Obviously so. So timeout on the field. And
Timeout, Jaguars.
the Raiders trailing by 3 points, 15-12. Regardless of the outcome, Mac, we've seen a good one up here.
It certainly has been a good one, a hard-fought ball game, very, very physical ball game. We've seen power against quickness and speed, and Habersham Central has done an excellent job. Cedar Shoals is a fine football team. To go to Valdosta, have the ball game nearly won, and then to let it slip away, and then come back. They whipped Clark Central, opening ball game, perennial power. So they're a fine football team. This one still not over, Ken, with 2.5 minutes to go. Right now, Coach Larry Black telling his Chargers, Ben, we got to have the football. That helped them right there to stop the clock. Perhaps Coach Jeff Harris and Cedar Shoals Jaguars didn't have the number of people on the field that they wanted or something there, and he wanted to make sure what they were doing, telling them to stay in bounds or whatever.
First down and 10 for the Jaguars at their own 49-yard line. They will need to get a first down, I believe. The give is to Chuck Turner. He's trying to find an opening, and he's got an opening and more. Chuck Turner off to the races across the 25, and a tackle made by Habersham Central, but Chuck Turner takes it down to the 17-yard line.
Chuck Turner almost broke that one for a touchdown, and not only broke that one for a touchdown, but might have broken the Jaguars, the Cedar Shoals Jaguars, might have broke the Raiders' heart here. I think we've got an injured player.
Injured Habersham Central player back up here at the 43-yard line. Couldn't catch his number. We're down to 2:15. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. The Jaguars, a big play by the sophomore, just a sophomore, Chuck Turner. It surely was a pleasure to talk to his father, Charles Turner, earlier in the telecast.
Charles was quite an athlete when he was in high school, played quarterback down at Greene County, was a tremendous athlete in all the sports. Went on to college, played Little All-American was made Little All-American at Clark College. A lot of people don't realize Charles was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys as a free agent. And he went out and there was a tryout and was going to be a wide receiver and hurt his knee in practice out there, and he played in some of the exhibition games, but now back coaching, and as a real tribute to the coaches in Georgia High School Association, and now his son's out there playing. It really does make me feel very, very old, Ken.
The injured Raider is up and on his way off. That's Dwayne Tedder. Looks like he'll be all right. Tedder comes off the field. And now the task at hand for the Raider defense is to get that ball back, somehow get that ball, so the offense can put at least 3 more points on the board.
Turner then, Chuck Turner on his run, young sophomore, showing a lot of speed. This gives him a lot of good game experience, too, playing with a senior-laden team and getting this much time. And I believe you told me last year he played a little bit of quarterback, too, when Eberhardt was hurt, behind Stewart.
Eberhardt looking to the sideline, waiting for a signal before he will take the snap.
Good coaching job.
Use as much of that clock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now they have to call a timeout, though. Cedar Shoals having to call a timeout with 1:50 left to go in the ball game. Well, 2 scores by each team tonight, but the difference, Cedar Shoals getting a 2-point conversion and getting an extra point. Habersham Central missing their 2-point conversion and extra point.
That's exactly right, and lined up in that with the wide side to the field and kept one back. We've seen a lot of people utilize that, and then if you don't get over and cover real quick, they just raise up and throw it. That was the first 2-point conversion, and then they did block the extra point down here, but Habersham Central still nevertheless fought right back, got back in the game, well played ball game, and this one's been fun to watch.
Well, the Raider defense so far has kept the Cedar Shoal offense off the board.
I'm amazed at how well they've done, Ken. You brought up an excellent point, because Cedar Shoals possesses so much more team speed, than does Habersham. So I'm very, very impressed, with the job they have done.
First down and 10 for Cedar Shoals after that big run by Chuck Turner. They're at the Raider 18-yard line. There's a good shot of Eberhardt, the quarterback. Give it to Kiki right up the middle. He'll get a couple of yards. Timeout will be called by Habersham Central. 1:40 left to go in the ball game.
There it is.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Cedar Shoals. I'm not sure how many timeouts Coach Larry Blank has left now.
He may have one more, Ken. Nevertheless, what they're going to be trying to do now is tackle the football. They just need to get a hold to it some sort of way so that they can have, their last shot at trying to get it in the end zone. So he's telling them to tackle the football. By the same token, Coach Jeff Herron is telling them to make sure that they cover up the football so that they will not fumble it.
Habersham Central holding Cedar Shoals to 15 points. Parkview held them last week to 14. Otherwise, the Jaguars have scored 25, 30. Only scored a 10 against Valdosta. Then they got 30 against McNair. So an admirable job by the Habersham Central defense tonight.
And their defense has played well, all year. And certainly tonight is another key that they have played well. To be able to contain this offense, which they've impressed me with their speed, certainly does make you understand the very, very fine job they've done.
2nd down now for Cedar Shoals. That's Chuck Turner again. Turner's got an opening. He's going to score. Chuck Turner with the 17-yard touchdown run.
Looks like we got a penalty over there.
Yeah, flag on the play. Holding against Cedar Shoals, so that will bring it back. Still a good run by Chuck Turner. Good offensive line ball.
Well, the thing about it was they had him cut off. Then he showed some good quickness, knew where he was on the field, and still got it in the end zone down there and showed some speed. You know, he almost broke the other one right before then, and he was a little upset. Then he got it in the end zone, but it's going to be negated, you know, by a holding call.
Ball resting on the Raiders.
A minute 33 left to go in the ball game. Still second down for the Jaguars. There's a good shot of the offensive line by sideline cameraman Barry Fitzpatrick. Then Eberhardt. Handing it off to Chuck Turner again. He's got an opening. And this time he'll be knocked out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Clock is stopped with 1:04 left to go.
The thing about the plays that Cedar Shoals running, Ken, they have been wide plays to consume some more of the clock. And he did then. He wanted to stay in bounds then. Habersham Central did the wise thing. They were knocking him out of bounds to try to stop the clock. Nevertheless, 1 minute to go in this ball game.
And it's a first down for the Jaguars at the Raider 3-yard line. Cedar Shoals leading Habersham Central 15-12. And they'll give it to Russell Christopher. He's the stop there at the 3-yard line.
Ball carried by number 7.
So Russell will not get in. 52, 51 and counting now left to go in the ball game. Looks like Cedar Shoals might have this one under the belt.
Looks like they may go on to a victory, and this would help just about seal them for a playoff spot. And looks like victory is on the horizon for them.
And this time to give Kiki Wright right up the middle. Defense showing a lot of pride, stopping him.
Certainly are. They've got a lot of pride, and this doesn't mean that Habersham is out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Third down, wisely calling timeout.
So Habersham Central calls timeout with just 14 seconds left to go. Hoping for some kind of a turnover down there.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, let's look ahead while we have a moment here. Habersham Central next week will be at Norcross. And the Cedar Shoals Jaguars, they will also be on the road at Meadow Creek.
And I think our telecast game of the week next week will be back at the Indian Reservation.
Johnson will travel up to Stevens County to take on the Indians. That will be our TV broadcast game next week.
Well, the Cedar Shoals Jaguars, Ken, they're on the road again a couple of weeks in a row, and then final home game of the season, you know, against Duluth. If they are able to come away with a victory here, this certainly does put them in a very, very enviable position. And, you know, even with another loss, you know, somewhere down the road, you never can tell, but still very, very important to them. Eberhard in for the touchdown.
There he goes. He kept it. He faked it to Kiki Wright, and he takes it in for the touchdown with 9 seconds left to go. Ben Eberhard, a 3-yard touchdown run. So they will attempt the extra point now. Chuck, no, excuse me, that's Torrey Bell, the regular place kicker. Chuck Turner holding, high snap, and the kick goes through. That was not Bell, that was number 31, Massey Shreves. He puts it through. So now the Jaguars up on top 21, make that 22-12 now with just 9 seconds left to go.
Number 31, Ken, looked like we're kicking that extra point. I'm going to let you pronounce his name.
Massey Shreves.
Maisi
Okay.
Shreves. I think that's close.
It was good. It went through the uprights, and that makes
That might have been his first attempt, because I was noticing on the sidelines that they were giving him many congratulatory hugs. So there might have been something special about the young man being a sophomore, maybe his first extra point or something of that nature. But nevertheless, sealed a victory here, for the Cedar Shoals Jaguars. And, they're going to be atop the sub-region now, and they would actually have to get beat twice with the remaining schedule. And they have already, keep in mind, beaten Central Gannett and beaten Parkview. So those were people, that were going to be contenders.
And the kickoff by Cedar Shoals will be picked up by Habersham Central. That is Josh Sellers. And Sellers stopped right there at the 18-yard line.
Josh Sellers starts the kickoff.
And only 2 seconds left to go in the ball game. Habersham Central.
Tackle made.
Maybe one more play.
Dante Holland.
And the clock will tick out right there. That's the ball game. And your final score, Cedar Shoals 22, Habersham Central 12. With us for post-game comments, this is high school football on TV 32.
It's close to midnight and you're balancing your checkbook. You're down to the next to last check when you find it, a check with no amount. With Habersham Bank's telephone banking service, you can call from anywhere 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to find out the amount on that check you forgot to enter. It's down to the last 2 seats on the plane to Hawaii, and you don't know for sure if you've got the cash in your savings account to cover your trip. Dial 776-CALL to find out your balance and much more instantly. Habersham Bank's telephone banking service makes it easy to stay in touch with your money.
Paint is America's best home improvement value. So when it's time to change that interior decor or provide lasting protection for your siding or trim, choose a Valspar premium quality paint that's been improving homes since 1806. For one-coat coverage, lasting beauty, and protection in all the latest colors, choose Valspar paint. And right now, you can get Valspar's best quality paint at a special price. Get real value and long-lasting satisfaction with Valspar quality paint. These fine decorating centers.
High-performance cars, luxury performance cars, family cars, light trucks. If you've got the car, we've got the tire. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
Fred Watson has a Michelin tire for you.
The Habersham Central Raiders go down to defeat the Cedar Shoals Jaguars by the score of 22-12. Coach, a good competitive game. We thought we'd see a good competitive game, mainly a defensive battle. The Raiders trailing, but they made a game of it there in the fourth quarter.
They certainly did. Habersham Central did a good job. Excellent preparation on the part of the Habersham Central staff. This is a fine Cedar Shoals football team, and Habersham Central played them nose to nose and toes to toes. I know they did get the touchdown, right there toward the end, but nevertheless, the Habersham Central Raiders did themselves proud. I know they're let down because of the loss, but they did a tremendous job to be able to contain this very, very fine Cedar Shoals team. And I would just imagine, Ken, unless something unfortunate happened, this Cedar Shoals team is going to go far this year.
Let's recap the scoring for you. The Cedar Shoals Jaguars got on the board their first offensive possession. They drove 60, make that 84 yards for the touchdown, and it was capped off by Russell Christopher taking it in from 9 yards out with 3:40 left to go. The two-point conversion pass to Christopher was good, and the Jaguars led 8-0. Habersham Central came back on a drive of their own. It was capped off with a 31-yard touchdown pass. Heath Webb to Jonathan Gasly, their first of 2 big connections of the evening. 10:39 left to go in the second quarter. It was 8-6 after the two-point conversion pass failed. Cedar Shoals came right back. It was Ben Everhart to Antonio Harper, a 27-yard touchdown pass. The extra point by Torrey Bell was good, and it was 15-6, and that's what it was at halftime. No scoring in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, Habersham Central had a good drive. It was capped off by a 3-yard touchdown pass from Heath Webb to Jonathan Gasly with 2:55 left to go in the ball game. That made the score 15-12 after the extra point was no good. And then right at the end of the ball game, 9 seconds left to go, Ben Everhart took it in from 3 yards out. The extra point was good, making your final score Cedar Shoals 22 and Habersham Central 12. The Jaguars of Cedar Shoals, they improved to 6-1 overall, and a sub-region mark now of 4-0. They're all alone in first place in the sub-region. Habersham Central falls to 4-3 overall, and they dropped to 2-2 in Region 8 Quad A North sub-region. Let's thank our TV32 crew tonight. First off, down on the field, the sideline cameraman doing an excellent job as usual, Barry Fitzpatrick, and assisting him down on the field, Salem Fitzpatrick. Our above the field camera person, Kim Gaines. Our director, always a very excellent job and coordinates everything for us, Stuart Gaines. Coach Magposs, always a pleasure, and we had a